Hey guys, this will be Thursday for you. So what we're going to go over today, we're going to walk through the STEMscopes website, which is what we use for science. And as of right now, I'm not going to send y'all logins and passwords for that website just because I feel like it'll be a little too confusing. So I'm just going to show you the teacher's point of view on this website and kind of how I teach, what are the style of the lessons, what are the topics we're going to talk about, and all that fun stuff, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and log in, if it lets me. There we go. And I'm going to show you, first I'll show you all the topics that we're going to do. So I'm going to go down to 6th grade. And here are all our topics on the right-hand side, okay? So we have elements and compounds, formation of a new substance, metals, nonmetals, and metalloids, density. You talked about that last year in 5th grade, I know that. Minerals, energy sources. You've also touched on that in 5th grade. Potential and kinetic energy. That one's always fun. Changes in force and motion. Inclined planes. Thermal energy. Energy transformations. Layers of Earth. Classifying rocks. Tectonic plates. Celestial objects, which celestial just means space. And then gravity, space exploration, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. That's probably brand new to you, and that's okay. And then last two are classification of organisms and organization and interactions in the environment. So we have a lot of fun topics this year. Let's go back up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these. Like I'll click on the first one, elements and compounds, okay? And what you'll see right here, you'll see a number and some letters in the title. And that's basically what we call the TEKS, so the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. That's what we have to teach y'all and make sure that you understand before you move on to the next grade. And then right here, you see a whole bunch of words that start with the letter E. That's actually a method of teaching called the 5 E's. Basically, you have your engage, and that's like an activity that tries to spark y'all's interest in that topic. So it's not actually teaching it, it's just a starter activity. Then you have explore. This one is probably where y'all will have the most fun because it's the labs, the demonstrations, the hands-on projects, all that good stuff. You actually get to explore the topic and work with it. The next E is for explain. That is when you read about your topic, you get more of your explanations behind the subject, like all that good stuff. So it's more of your academic section for that one. And then you have the next E, the 4th E, which is elaborate. So that means to extend upon something. So right here, normally we do a little more reading. We might do a math connection. And then there's a video called Science Today. And then this right here is called the Concept Review Game. This one's really fun. I'll actually click on it a little later to show y'all as an example. But I do this review game right before I hand out a quiz. So it's a fun way to review before you have your quiz. So everybody gets to review together. And the last E is evaluate. So I'm going to assess whether you understood the topic or not. And that's when you would have your quiz or your test or some sort of like written assignment. It might be a little mini essay. So yeah. And then here's a couple other things that are just extra. If we ever have extra time, I might use it, but most of the time I just stick with engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. I'll show you all some of the fun stuff. So let's go ahead and click on the explore. I'm going to go ahead and click where it says setup video. And this would show you how the teacher would set up for the lab that day. So I'll play a little bit, but I'm not going to play the whole thing because sometimes they can be between 5 and 6 minutes.
6.5 AB, Elements and Compounds. In Part 1 of this activity, students practice using the periodic table to look up chemical symbols of elements that are found in significant amounts in the solid earth, in living matter, in the atmosphere, and in oceans. In Part 2, they sort characteristics of elements and compounds while using mixtures as a reference point. In Part 3, students use plastic cubes to construct and compare models of elements, compounds, and mixtures. In Part 4, students then construct paper models of compounds. Print 2 per class of the teacher printout, component element cards on cardstock and laminate. For Part 2.
Okay, so that's all I'll show you for that one. But that's an example of one of the labs that we would do if we're in class. Now, I do still plan on doing hands-on stuff with y'all this year during the virtual learning, but it may be more of demonstrations by me, or if I feel like you already have the ingredients or the products at home, like if it's some regular common household or kitchen items, I will have you do it with me, like together. Maybe we'll do a Zoom and we'll do a live lab or something like that. Because I do still want to do labs and hands-on activities because I know that's where a lot of y'all learn the best and have the most fun. So don't worry, I have some plans. I'll get it together for you, okay? Right here, we'll click on Picture Vocab. These are the items that would go into our science journal. You know how we set up our journal yesterday? So these vocab words would be the words that we would put into our science journal. We would write the term name and the definitions, and then sometimes if you have extra time and you're artsy, I'll say, try and draw the picture or something like that, or a picture of that word. So there's some of the words. Okay. And then, let's see. So Content Connections and Science Rock, those are both videos. These ones are sing-along songs, and they tend to be a little cheesy, but some people like them. And then the Content Connections videos just connects the terms to your topic and just makes it connected to the real world so that it's more understandable for y'all. And then elaborate. I'm not going to click on those, I don't think. I'll click on this, though, the concept review game. This one's always fun. It's even fun for me because I get to see, like when y'all get one right, you're like, yes, I got it right. So what I would do, I would click right here, and it comes up with questions and then multiple choice. And in a classroom setting, I would have you raise your hand. I would pick on somebody, and then if they were to get it right, they would get, a Dum Dum or a Hershey Kiss or I don't know, some little piece of candy. Or sometimes if you don't like candy, I would have erasers or pencils and stuff like that. This year, I'm going to probably have to, I still want to do it, but I think I'm going to just take tallies of who gets the questions right. And then once we do go in person, I'll give you your prizes. Or maybe I can send it in the mail. We'll see. So that's always fun. And then evaluate. Let's see. Well, I'll show you the quiz. Okay. I'm not going to show you for too long because then you'll try and write down answers. But this is what your quiz would look like. I don't make my own quizzes because I feel like these are fairly good. The first section is all about vocab and matching, so you're matching the term to the definition. The second section is where you would fill in the blank, so you would write the term that you think fits that blank area. And then the backside has open-ended response questions. These are worth more points than part 2 and part 1. And the reason why is because matching vocab and fill in the blanks are a lower skill than a written response, open response would be. So that's where I really get to know if you actually understand that topic or not. So that's why I put more point value on those 2 questions, okay? So that's an example of the quiz. Let's see. I think that might be it for the website on what I wanted to show y'all. I think I'm going to post one more video, so you're going to have 2 videos today. The second video that I'm going to post It's going to contain the 3 workbooks that I would normally have in class for y'all to use. But since we're doing virtual learning right now, I'm going to go ahead and keep those at the school so we don't lose them at our houses. And I will just send you the documents one by one, either through Google Classroom or through email. But I'll get it to you, okay? Yeah, I'll go ahead and make a second video because that might take a little bit to explain. But that's all I have for this video. If you have any questions about the STEMscopes website, go ahead and email me or just send me a message somehow. And remember, I'm not going to be sending out student logins or usernames for STEMscopes yet. We might do that eventually when we're together, but for right now, I'm not going to send that out. And I'm also not going to be sending home the workbooks. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to an email or something to send out to y'all, so you don't have to worry about losing the book on accident, right? So that's all I have for that. See you in the second video.